In that same vein of, using potential failures and feedback as a learning opportunity and encouraging dialogue. You mentioned it's, if you try something new in the classroom and it just doesn't work, it shows your students that's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to try something and fail. It's okay to have, differing opinions on stuff. You do something in your classroom that's really cool. I've done a lot of videos and podcasts and blogs with different teachers, and this is the first time I've heard of this game. It's called the thumbs up, thumbs down game. What is the thumbs up, thumbs down game, and how does that kind of play into this strategy of creating student engagement in your classroom?
So thumbs up, thumbs down kind of leads into students evaluating each other. So another thing that just I've been trying to do more as I've gained more experience is putting more on the students and kind of, making my lessons less teacher-led and more student-led because I think they get more out of that, especially when you think about student engagement. They're going to be more engaged when they're more involved. So what I like to do, and I do it with every subject, I do it with reading, math, science, whatever, I have them evaluate each other. So I'll ask a question, how do you think the character's feeling? And I'll ask them to answer. So someone will answer, and then I'll say, who wants to evaluate so-and-so? And so I'll look for thumbs up or thumbs down. So if they agree, they put thumbs up. If they agree with what the student said, if they disagree, they put thumbs down. And I think something important to just say off the bat is that when I start my school year off, I make it a huge deal that it is okay to disagree with someone else. And I think that's an important lesson for students to know just in life, that we're not always going to agree, and that's okay. So I like to teach them how to disagree in a respectful way. So I like to call on students who have their thumbs down because it kind of gives them that opportunity to evaluate each other in a really thoughtful way. So they have to say, I disagree with you because, and then they have to give their answer. And then I'll call on other students too, just to kind of go back and forth, and so we can come to a final answer. And sometimes, we learn that there isn't just one answer, and that's okay too. So I've just found that this has been great for getting them involved, getting them engaged, and just giving them more responsibility within my lessons. When you just ask that first question, how is the character feeling? And you just ask one student, what they think, and then you move on, they don't get as much out of that conversation if they're not involved in it. So it kind of just opens it up to get more of them involved, more of them engaged, and just to make the conversation a little more meaningful too.
And to your point, from a student engagement level, I mean, this is pretty cool that, I just think of myself as, a first grader, and first grade Scott in the back of the classroom, the teacher asks a question and hands go up, and I'm sitting in the back thinking, please don't call on me. Please don't call on me. Please don't call on me. And then the teacher calls on somebody else, they get it right, and we move on. But I really like this thumbs up, thumbs down concept in the sense that you're putting the onus on the students. Not only do you want them to think about what answer is right or wrong, but if they disagree, why do they disagree? How can you respectfully offer a different opinion of why you think the answer is different? And from a student engagement standpoint, that is so powerful and so much more impactful when you compare it to, what's 4 + 2? Hands go up, Tommy, and he says 6, and then we kind of move on. But first grade Scott's in the background, he thinks the answer might be 5. Why do you think it's 5? Is this something that you came up with? Is this something you saw other teachers doing? How did heads up or thumbs up, thumbs down kind of make its way into Ashley Benson's classroom?
A couple years ago, NHA rolled out the new read aloud model. We're doing more of a balanced literacy model. And so within the read aloud lessons, they would ask us to have students evaluate each other. And so my mind kind of went right where yours went when you said these are first graders. Like, how does that happen? And so that was one of those things where I was like, okay, Ashley, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You know, like they can do it. You just have to teach them how. So that's when I was like, okay, where does this have to start? Well, it has to start with they need to know that it's okay to disagree. They need to know that it's okay to agree and that there might not be one right answer. I think that's a big lesson out of this this practice too, is that they learn that there might not be one answer, and that's okay. So yeah, I kind of adapted it from the read aloud lessons that they gave us. But what I did was I've taken it and I put it into like I use it in almost every lesson. And so they're so used to it now, and they are, you know, I don't have to say much, which is pretty cool too.